Welcome everyone, it is me, Dennis again, back with another video. So starting this year in 2026, it seems like things are getting even worse. I'm talking about in general, like the whole mortgages, rent kind of thing, utilities, and it seems like people are really struggling paying their bills, and I tell you why. People are really worried and concerned about the things that are happening right now over the whole world and what's happening in Iran. And so billions, millions, millions of Americans, 80 million people, or even more, are struggling with the gas prices. So if you go anywhere in the United States, you're going to see gas prices, even some states up to $7 to $8 per gallon. So that is breaking people's wallet. So people are really struggling to keep up with their utilities, their housing, rent, mortgages. Homeowners are really struggling to lose their home because most people just make a salary or just they just get paid by the hour of 40 or 50 or 60 hours labor, and it seems like people are getting sick of it. They are very fucking tired of it because they're like, man, I'm just working and I'm not seeing any results. And utilities, electricity went really skyrocketing. Natural gas, water, sewer, trash, all those services went up really crazy. 2026 has been probably the worst year of people like paying high, really skyrocketing electrical bills that people are really not knowing why they're paying so much. They they're trying to find an answer why everything is just going so high. Land is expensive, groceries is expensive, houses are way expensive. Anything that you can think of, it went up like you have no idea. Inflation is at 3.1% right now, which is keep increasing every day, every year. And then the technology, internet, cable TV, your phone, your tablet, or everything that you're paying is just part of the work. It's a tool that you need. It's equipment that you need for work, especially if you're an entrepreneur. But people have started losing their mind. People started going, either living in the storage unit, either going to live in their van or off the grid. But they call it crime if you go park anywhere else, anywhere in the woods. Like they want to put you in jail because they say that's called trespassing property, people's property. So in other words, you cannot be homeless, you cannot be in the woods. You just really stuck. Like you gotta be into society, you gotta be into their greedy thing where you have to just be part of this system and just collaborate with them. And healthcare, don't even get me started. Most people don't even have healthcare. It's just your car. If you have a car, if you think about gas moves the world, because if you don't, you can't get to work without a car. You got to use gas. Gas is like, how many billion cars are moving every day in the United States? Without gas, you can't get to work. Without gas, you can't cook. Without gas, there's so many things you cannot do without gas. So you gotta buy the gas for your car so you can drive it to work. And then I started to notice that, your car note, your car payment, the dealers are making really crappy cars now. And you're paying $70,000 to $80,000 for an SUV, plus the high interest rates that the bank is giving you. On top of that, you gotta pay two, three, four credit cards, which I don't really understand what's going on with the credit cards. I mean, you don't spend that much, you still get high interest rates. Like the fees are really insane. I really don't understand why. I mean, it makes no sense to me. It's just pretty high. And I started to notice that everything, like groceries, utilities, rent, transportation, food, all this kind of stuff is just going nuts. Like people don't know, but I'm trying to. I started to. I started to think that there's something not right. I don't know what it is, but for the richer, they keep going richer, richer, and richer. The poor is just getting poor every poverty into every single day. It's like people are struggling to keep moving forward. People are losing the job. There's over 9 million people in the United States that don't have a job. There's over 3 million people going homeless. They don't have any money for food, for shelter. So that's just the reality. That's just the way it is. Some people got way too much wealth. Some other people are struggling to make 7.25 an hour, which with that you can't even live in a tiny studio where you have to pay $2,000 for it. You won't be able to survive. On top of that, you gotta buy your groceries. You gotta have a car, and it's just so insane. It's unreal, insurance, you name it. So I want to know, what do you guys think? What would be the best way to actually work and save money and actually buy a house? How can people survive this crazy inflation that is so greedy that everything just going up, especially stores like Walmart, Target? It's just going crazy. I mean, it had no mercy whatsoever over your pocket, because you don't know that this thing is just going to be really expensive. We're barely starting the year. We're barely in March right now, and we're already seeing a lot of different things happening to it. So the war, we're paying for it. They're spending $898 million a day on bombs and all that equipment that they use. It's going to cost up to $3.3 trillion in 1 month, and it's just so unreal. While there's 10,000 people in the United States are struggling with starving, homeless, are struggling with jobless. They don't have a job. They got to live with their parents. College is insane. You got to get 20 to 30,000 loan to, whenever you get hired at a job, you're going to be 25 to 30, and then it's going to take you 20 years to pay all that off. I mean, it's crazy, man. They're trying to make you sick. Look at the food we're eating. It's not even giving us the vitamin that we need. We still got to go to the pharmacy and get antibiotics for it because we're feeling weak. We're feeling restless. It's like we, we don't even feel fulfilled. Our mind is not working correctly. Our brain is messed up. Our body is not even energized. So I'm started to think that they want to kind of short your life and send you to the early grave with this food that we're eating, the drinks that we drink, especially restaurants, all this ultra processed food that we eat. It's like people stop even eating outside because the restaurants are totally empty because the food is just way too expensive. One single family spend up to $200 just to go eat. So people rather cook at home. Am I right? So how is this gonna get ever better? Like, is it ever gonna get better, or we just gonna get worse and worse? Like, you could see all over around the metro areas, they're just building like apartments. They want to keep you in this four walls box so you can pay them rent, and then you just work just to get by. It's pretty unreal, but that's just the way it is. You've been programmed, you've been brainwashed since you were a child that you have to work, that you have to go to college, that you have to get a career, that you got to have the perfect job, that you got to have the newest home, that you got to have the newest car. But then nobody told you how to actually live your life. They just told you to be programmed in a society that you don't even fit. They just told you to be like a zombie. You are part of this, yeah, boom. They want you to update, they want you to be in this college, they want you to have this type of job. It's like you can never be you. We live in a society that is constantly taking the freedom, the peace, the mind, everything. In other words, when you get to 45, 50, you start having a lot of illness, heart stroke, you start having cancer, you start having a lot of diabetes, cholesterol, you start having a lot of different diseases that it really messing you up. So you ended up in the hospital, you get all these medications, and it's making you even zombier, more sicker, than ever. And you're like, damn. When you get to your 60s, 70s, it looks like you're already done to go to the other world. But my thing is, what is the whole goal, man? Like, why don't they just be, hey, back in the 90s, 80s, hey, go, start doing grow your own food, your groceries in your backyard. I don't know, man, do fishing, hunting, something. But now everything seems to be so sensitive. Kids are sensitive now. It is unreal. Everybody's connected into a tablet, into social media. It's draining you as hell. People scrolling their phone. Man, this life isn't real, man. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Y'all take care.